Hello my dear students, today we are going to learn the remaining part of the degree of price elasticity of demand. So in the previous video we have already completed the explanation of perfectly elastic demand, perfectly inelastic demand. So today we are going to learn unitary elastic, elastic and inelastic demand. So point number 3 we have unitary elastic demand, and number 4 we have elastic demand. Number 5 we have inelastic demand. Now I will explain the definition of unitary elastic demand first, then we will move to the elastic demand and inelastic demand. Okay, so we have unitary elastic demand. Now, what is unitary elastic demand? You have to understand the definition. So, when the percentage change in the price, of a commodity causes an equivalent percentage change in the quantity demand of a commodity, then the price elasticity of demand is said to be unitary elastic. The meaning is that when percentage change in price of commodity causes an equivalent percentage change in quantity demand, then the price elasticity of demand is said to be unitary elastic. Okay, once again listen. When the percentage change in the price of a commodity causes an equivalent percentage change in the quantity demand, then the price elasticity of demand is said to be unitary elastic. For example, if the price falls by 10%, due to that, suppose the quantity demand increases by 10%, then the price elasticity of demand is known as unitary elastic. Here, the meaning is that the percentage change in price and the percentage change in quantity demand is same, that is 10%. Now, we can prove the value of price elasticity of demand is equals to 1 in the case of unitary elastic demand with the help of formula. We know that in the case of unitary elastic demand, the price falls by suppose 10%, then the quantity demand will increase by 10%. So here we will get the value of price elasticity of demand is equals to 1. Now we can prove this one with the help of mathematical formula. We know that E equals to percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. So from our given example, the percentage change in quantity demand is 10. So here put it 10 divided by percentage change in price. This price is also changing by 10%. So here we'll write right? 10. If we divide these two, we'll get 1. So here EP is equals to 1, and this is the case of unitary elastic demand. Here we'll get the value of price elasticity of demand is exactly equals to 1. This unitary elastic demand can be also represented with the help of diagram or with the help of demand curve. So for this we have to draw two axes. We have x-axis and y-axis. Now in x-axis we will measure quantity and in y-axis we will measure price. So in the case of unitary elastic demand, the shape of demand curve is called rectangular hyperbola. So the curve may take the shape like this, and this curve is called rectangular hyperbola. Now, what is the meaning of this rectangular hyperbola? It says that the price and the quantity will extend towards its own axis in the uniform way. Means if the price is changing by 10%, the quantity demand will also change by 10%. So that will be represented by this rectangular hyperbola curve. So here the quantity demand and the price will move in its own axis in same or in uniform way. Next categories of degree of price elasticity of demand is elastic demand. So now we have to understand the meaning, what we mean by elastic demand. So when the percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity exceeds, when the percentage change in quantity demanded of a commodity exceeds the percentage change in the price, then the elasticity of demand is said to be elastic. This means that if the price of a commodity is changing by, if the price is changing by 10%, but the quantity demand changes by 20%. Once again, please listen. If the price of commodity, suppose say the price of commodity falls by 10%, and due to that, if the quantity demanded of commodity increases by 20%, then that concept is known as elastic demand. So here, in the case of elastic demand, we will get the value of price elasticity of demand greater than 1. Now, how will get this value of price elasticity of demand greater than 1? We can use the mathematical formula to prove this, whether the value will be greater than 1 or less than 1. So let's take. We know that EP equals to percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. Now here the quantity demand is changing by 20%. So here put it 20 divided by percentage change in price, we have 10%. So put it 10. Now if we divide, it will be 2. So here we get EP equals to 2, which is greater than 1. That is EP is greater than 1. So the value of elastic demand will be greater than 1. We have shown with the help of this mathematical formula, and we have proved that the value of price elasticity of demand is 2, which is greater than 1. In the case of inelastic demand, we have to understand the definition. So definition says that demand is said to be inelastic when the percentage change in price of a commodity is greater than the percentage change in quantity demand, then the value of price elasticity of demand is less than 1. So this is the case of inelastic demand. For example, if price of a commodity changes by 10%, and due to that, if the quantity demand only changes by 5%. So if we compare the percentage change of price and the quantity demand, we can see that the quantity demand is changing by less, that is only by 5%, where the price of commodity changing by 10%. So in this case, we get the value of price elasticity of demand less than 1. Now this can be also proved mathematically. We know that EP equals to percentage change in quantity demand divided by percentage change in price. So here, if we put the value of percentage change in price and quantity demand, we can get percentage change in quantity demand we have 5, and the percentage change in price we have 10. So if we divide 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 10, you will get EP is equals to 1 by 2 or is equals to 0.5. So here EP is equals to 0.5, which is less than 1, or this can be also the EP is less than 1. So this is the case of inelastic demand.